Have you ever taken something for granted? It's easy to do, isn't it? I mean, there are so many things every day that you just know are going to be the way they always are. But what if even the most stable assumptions, the things we take for granted every day, suddenly change? My name is Ian Currey, and this is Thinking Out Loud. Come on, let me tell you what I think. Not too long ago, I showed up for work an hour early. Well, I'm always early, but I mean I was an hour earlier than the half hour I usually get there. Every night I set an alarm and get up the moment it goes off. No snooze button for me, ever. I've never worked out why you would ruin a perfectly good sleep so that you could wake up just to press the snooze button and then pretend to be asleep again. Just set the alarm for the time you need to get up and get out of the bed. The issue was, for several weeks my schedule had been 4 a.m. alarm, 4:30 leave the house, 5 a.m. park the car, grab a coffee and prepare the classroom for the students who would arrive on the dot of 6. That gave me enough time to have a think, read a chapter or two of something worthwhile and settle down before the busyness of another day training aircraft crew. The routine was set. I was ready, but no students. What could be wrong? I mean, these students are never late. I could hear my own strict words ringing in my ears. This is an on-time airline. Early is on time is late, and late is unacceptable. Instead of sipping coffee, I thought I'd better have another look at the briefing notes for the day. And there it was. Don't forget, the 6 a.m. class will combine with the 8 a.m. class and begin their day at 7. We will meet in the auditorium. Not only was I an hour early, I was in the wrong building. Routines that stay set and don't change soon become habits, and it doesn't take very long before those routines get taken for granted, just like the day before. And the day before that, and the one before that. I'd made an assumption, not read the notes well enough, and missed something important. Now, at this point, I had a lovely choice to make. I could have had a grumble and been cross with myself, or I could decide to enjoy a few extra minutes with my coffee and my thoughts. I was very intentional about it. I even spoke sternly to myself. Oh, you numpty, you could have had an extra hour in bed, but let's make the most of it. A co-worker once told me that intentionally choosing to have a good attitude can be difficult if you're generally a grumpy person. My answer was perhaps a little oversimple. Well, then don't be a grumpy person. But I'm not sure it helped. Sometimes I think I take being able to see the fun in things or making the best of a bad situation as something that perhaps I take for granted. For some, it can be very hard to enjoy their day after such a calamity as an alarm clock ringing an hour early. Some people I know will let something like that ruin the whole rest of their day, and often a few other people's too. When things go wrong, what do you do? I have a friend who I haven't seen for quite some time. My friend Bob is one of those people who just makes the most of every day and simply never takes anything for granted. His approach is that life is way too short to sit around being all gloomy. We all need someone like that hanging around not far away from us, don't we? Long, long ago, there was a man called Job. Now, his story is rather complicated, and many scholars have had a look at it over and over again, hoping to find hidden meanings and so on. But I think mostly Job, just like my friend Bob, had just intentionally decided that no matter what, come what may, he was going to have a good attitude and not get all negative and depressing to be around. Job had so many bad things happen to him, and yet decided that his attitude was going to represent the God he loved. As long as I live, while I have breath from God, my lips will speak no evil, and my tongue will speak no lies. I told you it was complicated, didn't I? I mean, I've sort of skipped to the end of the story. If we go back all the way to the beginning, you might hear Job having a little bit of a moan. Actually, he's very creative with his moaning. He starts by wishing he'd never been born before saying, "Let those who are experts at cursing, whose cursing could rouse Leviathan, curse that day." Isn't that a fun idea? Finding expert cursers that could curse so well that they would anger a sea monster. I suppose the modern way to say that might be curse like a sailor. But do you see the choice Job has there? He could have gone with the professional monster-rousing cursing crew of sailors idea, or ultimately stuck with the choice he made. My lips will speak no evil. Quite a choice, right? While true that Job did choose the right path in the end, it's also true that the choice was a whole lot easier, because the main point of the story seems to be that's who Job was. I love the sentence that so often gets missed as Job is being talked to. In the past, you've encouraged many people. You've strengthened those who were weak. Your words have supported those who were failing. You encouraged those with shaky knees. Do you see? The way Job had previously encouraged others and helped them was because that's who he was. That's one of the many things he was well known for, it seems. When tough times come along, it's all too easy to get all gloomy and grumpy, isn't it? Choosing the path of being positive and following the ways God has set in place ultimately work best for us, but we still get to choose if we want to be grumpy or not. There's another side to this choice too. It's not just about how I feel. If I feel like being grumpy, I can jolly well be grumpy. So there. Well, that's not going to make me very attractive to my friends or family. Now, is it? What about them? Paul reminded some of his friends about this very thing. Let us think of ways to motivate one another to acts of love and good works. Do you think being grumpy about being awake an extra hour was going to be a way to do that motivating of others to acts of love and good works? No? Of course not. Perhaps spending time working out how I could make use of that extra hour, or telling you about it in a video one day. Perhaps that's a better way to encourage my friends. I hope so. Next time things don't go quite the way you wish they would, or perhaps you're just having one of those days, remember that it's better to let the Leviathan sleep than to wake up the monster with all kinds of cursing and complaining, no matter how much you think you're entitled to be cross. Until next time, goodbye.